Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. It's your boy Malachi, aka Malachi Gaming Universe. Just wanted to touch bases on my new gaming channel and also NBA 2K23 and the 2K series in general. Like, these just my thoughts that I've been pretty much elaborating and thinking about for a while now. But yeah, I've been playing. I just got NBA 2K23 for the current gen, like 3-4 days ago. I've been playing it non-stop, and pretty much I rocks with it. I do rock with it. I think it's better than 2K21, and I like NBA 2K20, but it's like graphics. Controls are different. I gotta get used to the controls as compared to 2K20 and 21. But other than that, from what I've analyzed and observed, it's pretty much a better game overall. Like, I think 2K did a good job as far as filling out the rosters for the classic teams. It's about time they did that. Added appropriate shoes for some teams, the appropriate head coaches. Like, all that shit should have been. They make too much money to produce half-ass games. You know what I mean? And I just feel like they should have been did that 3-4 2Ks ago. You know what I mean? And my NBA. First of all, I wouldn't even got NBA 2K20. I ain't get 22 due to the fact I'm very peculiar when it comes to video games, and I feel like me keep contribute to 2K games when they pretty much all the same each year. Like, that don't make no sense to me. So I was like, I'm gonna hold off until they bum out with the 2K23. Hopefully that would be better. I mean, the play-in and all that extra shit, they ain't had it for 20 or 21. So I was like, I'm gonna wait for 23 to drop, in which I did. I went on and got it. But I've been playing it non-stop, like I said. And the only thing that I have bad to say and negative is the fact that 2K basically, see, I'm an old school guy, so I love the 80s and 90s NBA basketball. I'm 40, about to be 41 soon. And I just feel like they should cater to those teams more and shine light on teams from the 70s, 80s, and 90s compared to the 2000s. Because people know about all the great players in the 2000s. But people don't really know about Alex English, Sidney Moncrief, Paul Pressey. What else? The Iceman, the 78, 79 Spurs team, like teams like that. The Washington Bullets of the 70s. They was pretty much the San Antonio Spurs of the 70s. You know what I mean? They made the postseason every year in the 70s, but they don't got no team. Not even a championship team. So I'm like, 2K can do better than that. The Seattle Supersonics championship team from 78, 79. Even the Portland Trailblazers Bill Walton championship team. And then they can throw up another Boston championship team, the 73, 74 Celtics. Take it even back further, the Wilt Chamberlain 61, 62. The 66, 67 Warriors. I mean, the Philadelphia 76ers with Wilt Chamberlain. Like, it's so many teams that they just disregarding. And community creators like myself, we gotta goddamn make rosters and teams, and it should be already in the game. Like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they cater to Jordan and the Bulls more than anything. And I'm not no Bulls fan. I'm not no Jordan fan. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. They should not have no more Chicago teams than the Boston Celtics or the Lakers. That's just crazy to me. They don't have more championships than neither one of them franchises. So why the fuck do they have 7 Bulls teams in the 2K series? They should have a championship team from the 50s for the Celtics, one from the 60s, which they do, one from the 70s, 2 from the 80s, and 1 in the 90s. And that's the 91-92 Celtics, or you can throw the 90-91 Boston Celtics in there. Like hell, you can even put in the 92-93 Reggie Lewis, Kevin McHale, the last great Celtic team that made the playoffs. And then with the Lakers, you can throw in the 79-80 Lakers, Magic first Showtime championship, and the 95-96 his last year. That's a classic team in itself. More Milwaukee Buck teams from the 80s, because they were legitimate in the 80s, and the Bad Boys. You should have the 86-87 Pistons, or the 84-85 Pistons, and then with the Bucks, the 81-82 Bucks, or the 83-84 Bucks, or even the 88-89 Bucks, 149 games. Dale Harris first year as the coach, or second year as the coach. So it's mind-boggling to me that 2K don't cater to teams that were built like that, and put all these new teams. How you gonna put an 18-19 Raptors team when you're not even acknowledging it? It don't make no sense to me. But other than that, my NBA that they made for the new gen, the next gen, that's biased to me. And that basically they're telling you, in order for you to get that feature, you're gonna have to upgrade. And I got a problem with that. You shouldn't do one thing for one gen, one game system, and then leave that out on a game system that people are still playing. Like, I know I'm not the only one that's still playing Xbox One. I know I'm not. So to me, that's crazy. So I got to make legend rosters like I've been doing for a new game that I just paid a lot of money for, that should be already included. You know what I mean? So I got to basically make a 91-92 roster. I already got an 84-84 roster. I already had that manifested anyway. So it's basically what I've been doing with my NBA. I've been doing that on my own for the last 2-3 years. So I'll be putting together some old school rosters for the 2K23 for the Xbox One. You heard it here first. Malachi Gaming Universe. But I'm just voicing my opinions and my thoughts. 2K should have more classic teams in it. Never mind the legend, the all-time teams. Fuck all that. Put the actual classic teams in the game. More teams from the 70s, 80s, especially the 80s. Because that's when basketball was at its finest and purest form. It don't get no better than the 80s and the 90s. That's my opinion. But I beg to differ. Like, this new shit, like, I can't really rock with it. Like, but it's from a fan perspective and somebody that played basketball myself, you can have all your questions answered in the 2K universe. It don't get no better than that. The MJ LeBron debate, the Warriors, are the Warriors the best dynasty, better than the Bulls dynasty, the best running gun team? Like, how can you not have Alex English and Doug Moe and the Nuggets? You know what I mean? And even Paul Westhead in the first Lakers championship team. And then Doug Moe coached the San Antonio Spurs. 78, 79 Spurs. Not the 82, 83 Spurs. The 78, 79 Spurs were a run and gun team that got to the Western Conference Finals. I'd rather have that team than the 82, 83 team. I mean, Doug Moe was a genius as far as offensive masterminds. Don Nelson, the 86, 87 George Karl Golden State Warriors, even the 81, 82 Golden State Warriors, Bernard King, like, and the 80, I'm a Knicks fan, so the 83, 84 Knicks and the 88, 89 Rick Pitino Knicks is mandatory. Patrick Ewing in his prime. I mean, Kenny Skywalker. Who else was on that team? Gerald Wilkins. That team was official. Johnny Norman. Like, Mark Jackson. Prime Mark Jackson, too. Like, you don't get no better than that. And that team could have got to the conference finals if it wasn't for Jordan ass. But yeah, those two Knicks teams, pardon me, and the 93-94 Knicks, they got to the finals. Or either the 92-93 Knicks. They should be in the game automatically. How you gonna have the 94-95 Knicks that didn't even do shit? Like, that's not a classic team. The classic team would be the 92-93 Knicks that had the best record in the East, and the 93-94 Knicks that got to the finals. You heard it here first. Malachi Gaming Universe. What I got on deck though, the projects I'm working on in the NBA 2K21, which I still play. I'm in the 87-88 season. I'm gonna be showing videos from the playoffs. I'm in the current playoffs in the 87-88 season. Conference finals, basically the Denver Nuggets, Alice English and the Nuggets, who I started my sim in 84-85. The Nuggets made the NBA Finals that year against none only than Philadelphia 76ers. Moses Malone, back-to-back MVP in 84-85 and 85-86. The Sixers won back-to-back championships, pretty much punishing every team in their way. 86-87 season, the Boston Celtics won it as a 6th seed. Kevin McHale was... The thing about that is, they were a 6th seed. They dethroned the Sixers in the conference semifinals, and they beat the Bulls in the Eastern Conference Finals. That was a hell of a series. I wish I could have recorded that, but I'm going to start from the conference finals with that. But Boston beat Chicago without Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale hurt his shoulder and missed the series, and they played the Rockets in the NBA Finals. The Rockets beat Portland, who had the best record in the NBA that year, in my universe. So Portland, the last 2 years, have been the best team in the NBA. And that Blazer team is official. They ain't had the best record this year. The Knicks had the best record this year at 64-18, but the Knicks lost to the Bulls in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 6 games. So it's Boston and Chicago, a rematch last year playoffs in the Eastern Conference final right now, and the Nuggets and Portland are in the Western Conference finals. And this is Denver's second conference finals in 4 years. They made the playoffs 4 straight years. So have Portland. But Portland have risen from the 8th seed to the 5th seed, and to the 1st seed, and to the 1st seed again. So that's pretty much how Portland pretty much came. They got swept the first year of my universe by the Lakers. The second year they lost to the Jazz. And then last year, the 86-87 season, they lost to the Rockets. That was a classic 7-game series. The Twin Towers of Ralph Sampson and Olajuwon is pretty much wreaking havoc in the league. But I went on and broke them up after they lost in the finals. Ralph Sampson is currently with the Golden State Warriors. Purvis Short is in Houston. Sleepy Floyd is in Golden State. It's official, like, yeah, you know what I mean? And I haven't decided if I'm going to trade Moses Malone from the Sixers. He's still producing at a high level, but you know, in reality, Philly traded Moses Malone to Washington for Jeff Ruland and somebody else. I can't think right now offhand, but that trade happened in 86, 87. So right now he's still with the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Washington Bullets are a problem. Gene Shue got them boys playing legitimate defense. They made the playoffs every 4 years, but they can't get out the first round. They haven't made it out the first round since I started this universe in 84, 85. So I'm trying to see if a changing of the head coaching is needed for them to take the next step, or are they missing a piece or two? So all that is bumming for NBA 2K21 Xbox One Edition, Malachi Gaming Universe. And as far as with the NBA 2K23, I'm gonna be showing videos from that gameplay and how it's better, how I feel like it's better than 2K21 and 20. And also, I'm gonna start a universe in my league. I probably am gonna do and I got one already running at 2K21. See, I like to do different things with different 2K games. Like 2K20, I'm doing teams from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all in one, my league. And do it like a 5 to 7 year simp to who the best team is and who truly is the GOAT. You know what I mean? And I got Len Bias on that money too. And truth be told, Jordan wouldn't have no 6 rings if Len Bias didn't pass. People can talk their ass off and talk till they blue in the face, but Len Bias and Boston would have won at least 2 more championships, at least. And the Pistons wouldn't even win the chips they won if Len Bias didn't pass. And I fuck with the Pistons hard body, you know what I mean? And that's just being truthful. Len Bias was the truth, you know what I mean? And any old school fan would tell you. So I got Len Bias in this universe too, and he's true. You heard it here first. You know what I mean? Got him at a 85, 88. That's his rating. You know what I mean? He can do it all. Play in the post, perimeter, lock Jordan down, all that. You know what I mean? That's what he did in college. So it wouldn't be no better if he ain't do it in the 2K universe. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, 2K, y'all gotta tighten up with these classic, historic teams. Add more teams. Y'all make enough money to add more teams. And I'm telling you, you heard it here first. Malachi Gaming Universe. Everything is in motion. 2K23, Xbox One exclusive. I'm gonna be posting some start a playoffs round. I'm gonna take it back to the I know y'all remember the Bull versus Lakers series, or the Celtic versus Lakers series in the NBA playoffs. That's how I'm bumming with this 2K23. You know what I mean? I ain't seen nobody do that yet, but you heard it here first. I'm about to do that. You know what I mean? So don't bite what I'm about to do. But I'm gonna start with either the Celtics and Lakers 86, 87 playoffs and work my way down. And this gonna cover the 80s and 90s. And I don't know about the 2000s, but the 80s and 90s. So basically, the teams that made the finals and all the teams that was in the NBA playoffs that year. I'm posting videos on 2K23 for the Xbox One exclusive in the next couple days. I'm growing up these masterpieces. Stay tuned. And I'm into the WW2K series as well. 2K19 and 20. I haven't gotten 22 yet. I'm hearing mixed reviews. I'm probably waiting on the 23 to drop but I might get to 22. Who knows? But videos posted. 2K19, WW 2K19 is pretty much geared around the females, the ladies. I got all different type of female wrestlers from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, all in one umbrella. Getting it in, trail action. Got some videos bumming on that. What else? RBI baseball. I'm gonna take it back to the 80s, 88, 89 season. I'm working on that as well as Madden. So I got a whole lot of stuff going. I just got the stuff I needed, so I'm about to take flight, takeoff game. But you heard it here first. I just wanted to voice my opinions on the NBA 2K23 for the Xbox One and things that 2K can do to make the 2K series better for all gens. You know what I mean? And I'm hearing that's the last gen. I mean, that's the last game for the current gen. So if that's the case, y'all can do better. You know what I mean? But the only upgrade I'm doing is a PC. Because I can have everything at the tips of my hand and I can do all that and then some. I'm going to shut the shit down if I get a PC. Let's believe that. But yeah, peace and blessings, man, woman, and child. And I hope everybody enjoy their day. And I'll be dropping some videos later on. Peace.